What is going on, Hive Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about why you may never lose weight. And I don't want this video to be doom and gloom, but I do want to talk about important elements and important aspects of your day-to-day life and just routine that literally may make you never reach that goal. What are those things? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down in this video. Stay tuned. Alright guys, quickly before we start, don't want to bog you down with my jump rope, but if you do want a jump rope that's only $16.50 but does contain an ergonomic design, aluminum handle, and swivel design, you can't go wrong with the Fledge Fitness jump rope. You can click on the top right hand corner of this video or down in the description box below. And of course, as always guys, thank you so much for your support. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, so the most important thing that we need to jump into to kind of dissect this premise of you may never lose weight is the tricks that your mind plays on itself. Because of certain things like hormones and appetite, your mind will play major tricks on you to distort reality that makes you then feel that you won't reach your goal, and then it just stops you in your tracks. And this comes from simple misconceptions that your body and mind literally gravitate towards because of the fact that your body wants you to stop whatever weight loss program or whatever weight loss system that you are doing. And why? Because body fat is actually an evolutionary survival tool. Your body doesn't want you to shed the fat because your body still has these pieces of artifacts that come from our past, that come from our ancestors, where you need to store this in the event that something happens where you don't have access to food. But fortunately for us, we have an abundance to the access of food. So we could shed the fat, and actually things like visceral fat can be unhealthy and deadly. So you do want to shed the fat. Our bodies weren't designed to carry so much fat, but apparently there wasn't a safety lock or a ceiling on our ability to gain body fat. The body just kept doing it. It didn't see any reason to stop it. So here are some things that will derail you. The illusion or perception that weight gain is much faster than weight loss. That is just not the case. They tend to be somewhat similar in terms of speed, but weight loss can be much faster. It's all based on how much you give into the weight loss versus how much you give into the weight gain. So for example, if you are focused on weight gain, and you specifically want to gain fat, if that is your actual goal, you will be eating past the point where it hurts. You will just continue to eat in an attempt to continuously gain body fat. But most people don't do that. We just slightly eat over our caloric maintenance every day, bit by bit. 1 year goes to the next year, goes to the next year, goes to the next year. And because you're not paying attention to it, the fat is piling on, piling on, piling on. And because it's very incremental, so it's below the just noticeable difference, you kind of can't really tell that you've gained so much body fat until maybe a month or 2 or 3 months, where you start feeling things are different in terms of your clothing and in terms of pictures. And then you start saying to yourself, oh, whoa, I've gained some weight. So it feels like it's lightning fast because you aren't focused on weight gain. Now, weight loss feels like it's crawling because you're focused on weight loss. You are looking at yourself every day. You're trying to pay attention to the hard work that you did. Did you get a return on that investment from that hard work? You are constantly hypersensitive to everything that's happening weight-wise, body-wise, because of the actual work that you're putting into it. Just the same way as someone, for example, a sumo wrestler. If they were trying to gain body fat, they would see the slow incremental growth of body fat because that is their goal and they're working towards that, and it is excruciating. Therefore, they are hypersensitive to that goal. But just think about it. How many transformations have you seen where the person is overweight and they've told you that they've been overweight since they were children, or family members that have been overweight since they were little? They've never ever been small at any point or lean at any point. And then they go on this journey, and then a year later, they've lost everything and they're super lean and they're feeling healthy and they're going to the gym and what have you. That's 1 year versus their entire lifetime of incrementally gaining weight. So think about that. It is not slower to lose weight than it is to gain weight. It just feels that way. And other elements that will trick you to believe that you're gaining weight like this is water fluctuation. This is one of the paramount reasons why I despise the scale. I don't despise the scale for what it is on its own merits of just being a thing that weighs you, but it is given so much power by the person using it to basically explain everything that they wanted to explain in their mind at that time. So if you're doing a weight loss program and one day you decide to hydrate more than another day, and then also decide to eat a little bit more carbohydrates more than you normally do, and you go on that scale and you see weight gain rather than weight loss, your initial reaction, your knee-jerk reaction is going to be, I did nothing. My weight loss thing that I was doing made me gain weight. What is the point? I'm just going to go back to doing whatever I did before because obviously I cannot lose weight. This is a psychological trick that you are playing on yourself, and your body is fine with it because of the hormonal imbalances that are happening when you are losing weight. Ghrelin is going up. Your body is trying to get you to consume more calories and trying to get you to stop moving as much so you can conserve more calories, thus building back your body fat. But in reality, you probably lost a little bit of fat, but it wasn't enough to get you to 1 pound loss, and you retained water. And water fluctuation can change the scale from 5 pounds to 7 pounds easily in 1 day. But every time people look at that scale, they just attribute body fat gain or loss to that scale. It is such a one-dimensional way of looking at your progress that it nearly infuriates me when people just use the scale or even use it as frequently as they do. Trust me, you can lose body fat, also build muscle at the same time, especially if you're detrained. So that's gonna skew a little bit of what the scale is showing. You're gonna have water retention, glycogen buildup, all of those things that come from carbohydrates. All of those things are gonna throw you off. It doesn't mean that it's body fat, but it is going to throw you off because it will create physical weight that will be represented on that scale. So when you compound elements of seeing yourself on the scale, seeing that there isn't progress there, and then seeing the hard work that you're doing, and then feeling like you're doing too much for such little return, it just makes it seem like it's insignificant, that the needle is not even moving. When in reality, below all of that, the needle is moving. If you increase your cardiovascular system by doing cardio, i.e. jump rope, one of the best cardios that you can do, and you can buy mine, only $16.50, link in the description, or running or walking, whatever it is. When you do that, you're improving your cardiovascular system. When you improve your cardiovascular system, you're more prevalent to burning calories. When you go on a diet program, you are now reducing the caloric intake that you did when you were not paying attention to what you were eating. When you do resistance training, you are increasing lean tissue, which is now helping you actually burn more when you are at rest, thus increasing the deficit in terms of calories stored versus calories burned automatically without you actually doing any physical thing in the moment for that. Just the fact that you've increased lean tissue, as lean tissue is the primary driver for your metabolic rate. And because you are unaware of that and you don't see it so immediate and you're so hyper-focused, what ends up happening is you just go back to what you were doing before. If you have 2 months of success and you do 1 cheat meal and it's full of carbs, so your body weight goes up by 7-8 pounds because of the water retention, because of the glycogen buildup, you go back to what you were doing before without knowing that you are about to undo 2 months of hard work because you're just gonna go into 6 months of doing whatever you want. When you could have just kept going because that moment of looking bloated because of what you were eating or overeating or because of carbohydrates has tricked you, mind and body, to go back to what you were doing. And that pivotal moment when you don't understand that all you have to do is simply continue. Even in these little moments of weight going up and weight going down, it doesn't matter. Simply continue. That moment is why most people will never lose weight. Hopefully when that moment comes for you guys, or if it's come for you guys, you're able to understand those dynamics, the scientific elements of what is going on, and you're able to push past that moment. And hopefully you do not fall into that statistic of people who will never lose weight. I hope this video has helped you guys, and of course, as always, I want to thank my patrons from my Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and put their names right up here. And as always, guys, I'll see you on Sunday for another FAQ. Peace!